Fox News has embedded with Homeland Security as they busted a massive transnational fraud ring here in LA County that has reportedly stolen millions from taxpayers. Here's Fox's Matt Finn with his exclusive report.
This is the police. We have a warrant.
And we're bringing out the big guns.
Fox News exclusively capturing Homeland Security's sunrise bust of this Armenian-born man at his LA area home. The suspect, who uses the alias William McGrayan, surrenders with his hands over his head.
Yeah, so as you can see, it is clearly not just black people who were the only ones getting into these PPP loan scams. It was everybody. Everyone was trying to put their hands in a cookie jar, and they are taking that time out to find everybody. The only thing is, when it comes to black people doing these PPP loans, it seems like they didn't have any type of plan. They just said, you know what, let me see if I can get as much PPP loans as possible. Most of them were rejected, but for the money that y'all got, y'all didn't do anything good with them. Y'all just balled out on Facebook, on Instagram. Y'all bought the Lamborghini, the nice cars, the Rolex watches. Y'all went on these trips that y'all weren't supposed to go on. Y'all just did everything wrong with the PPP loan funds, and now you're getting caught, and they are catching everybody. Let's continue.
Investigators say McGrayan is the brains of a transnational crime ring that stole $30 million in COVID relief and small business loans meant to help tax-paying Americans.
If you're engaged in fraud, if you're taking money from the government that doesn't belong to you, your door could be the next one that we're hitting.
According to court documents, an informant describes McGrayan as unhinged, claiming he talked about his ties to gangs in Armenia and threatened one person with a gun and a baseball bat. In the multi-agency sting led by DHS, 14 people were taken into custody.
The suspects are simultaneously arrested across town so they can't tip one another off, and then they're brought to this special processing center to be booked.
The suspects are charged with conspiracy, wire and bank fraud, and money laundering. Investigators say multiple shell companies were created using phony documents. Some of the money was spent on homes and luxury goods.
Do y'all see the amount of people they just caught on this one case? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's two more to the left.
The rest was wired to Armenia, making it harder for the U.S. to trace. These fraudsters applied for $47 million in federal funds. They got away with about $30 million. Most were born in Armenia but have become naturalized here in the U.S. At least one faces deportation. In Los Angeles, Matt Finn, Fox News.
And Matt Finn joins us here now. Good to have you here. Thanks so much for being here. So what's it like being embedded in this sort of overnight raid?
Well, Alex, you and I experienced a lot of adrenaline rushes on the job, and this was no exception. There was actually 2 back-to-back raids. There was one last week, one this week, both at or before sunrise. And we got into the armored vehicle, the Bearcat, which basically looks like a small tank. You know, we have our armored vests on and, you know, prepare for anything. You know, these agents brace us that some of these guys can fire back. They can barricade themselves. You pull up to this house. They throw out, you know, a smoke grenade, which, by the way, serves as their knock on the door, so that legally establishes their presence.
Okay, so that explains what that flash was. I thought they just like launched some type of missile at this guy's house. No, they launched a smoke grenade, and that counts as a knock on the door. That is absolutely insane. Now, let me just read to y'all why they're using this much force against this one person. So at this guy's house, they found $20,000 in cash, 2 money counting machines, paper cash bands in denominations of $2,000 and $10,000, multiple cell phones, multiple laptops, 2 loaded semi-automatic 9mm handguns, and boxes of 9mm ammunition. This man seems like he was getting prepared for a war, and that's just what they found at his house. I'm pretty sure the other defendants who they caught probably got the machine guns, the AK-47s, the Uzis, and whatnot. But what I find really surprising about this case in particular is where it is. This is happening in Los Angeles, California. And lately, it seems like the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, does not give a damn about what is going on in his state at all. because there are people out there who are illegal immigrants rioting, destroying everything. Trump sent in the troops trying to calm everything down or stop everything, and Gavin Newsom was like, I didn't make that call. Like, this man wants these people to destroy his state, and he obviously doesn't care. And the fact that there are the liberals out here are just defending them tooth and nail is even more insane. We have a serious immigration problem in this country. As you can see, people coming from all over the world coming here to take advantage of the United States system and then send money back into their country, whether it's actual work or whether it's doing scams like the PPP loan scams. This guy got $30 million from the PPP loan and sent it back to where he's from. A lot of people who came here as illegal immigrants are sending money back home, just trying to use what we got here to send it over to their shithole country. Yeah, I said it.
And then the loudspeaker shout the guy's name. You know, they identify the address, tell him to come out of the house, and you're just sitting back waiting for anything to happen. Fortunately, in both of the cases that we tagged along, these guys surrendered. One was in the Calabasas area, the other near Burbank. The first time the guy came out shoeless, shirtless, you know, surrendered. They put some cuffs on him and booked him.
So just throwing out that grenade, that's the equivalent of knocking on the door? That's not the kind of knock on the door.
Could you imagine? They're searching you or they're investigating you, and your knock on the door is a smoke grenade. You open your door and then poof. That's crazy.
Door anybody wants, yeah.
Yeah, and fun fact, well, fun call with that, but one of the Bobcats we were in also was a part of the Diddy raid here in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this problem, this Armenian transnational thing, I mean, is this just sort of the tip of the iceberg? How big a problem do they think this is?
You know, in talking with Homeland Security and our U.S. Attorney here, they are sending out the message that they are prioritizing these transnational gangs. They want to go after people who are taking advantage of our neighborhoods here in Southern California. So, you know, I'm not privy to all the inside information, but Homeland Security has told me that we can expect to see more of these type of raids.
Yeah, I mean, because we hear about the idea of going off after fraud and waste and abuse, but this seems like some real big fraud, waste, and abuse here.
Yeah, Alex, the guy that we were that we tagged along with for the arrest out near Calabasas allegedly stole $83 million from Amazon. So if your Amazon package didn't show up or your mom's didn't, that might be one reason why. But they are literally spitting in the face of our American commerce. You know, and a lot of these people, they're not mom and pop border crossers who are looking for a job. These are hardened criminals who are taking advantage of the American system.
And we do see that they're sending a message here. I mean, Bill Asaley, the new U.S. attorney, is very media savvy. He was very media savvy before he joined the Trump administration, which is probably part of the reason that he got invited to join the Trump administration. And it seems like this is part of the strategy to show this on camera.
Yeah, they are definitely going after these multinational crime organizations, and they seem to be the biggest ones they are finding. They got this guy who's doing $30 million. Someone who we said does $83 million in an Amazon scheme, has the Feeding Our Future, $250 million stolen from PPP loans. So they are taking this stuff seriously, and they're going after everyone. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and see y'all next time.